should or participate or take part in bringing about issues to do with the drugs are the civic organizations within our country and internationally, if they are concerned about our country. And then I would also want to include issues of the religious groups, our churches. So what role do they play in bringing about and more specifically to make sure that in as much as we have got problems of our youth, our ordinary people abusing the drugs, but the problem could be actually coming from those people who are bringing in the drugs. We have got concerns in as far as people who say, yes, the police has been doing so much and there are some policies that have been brought about by the government. But one thing that I've noticed is to say most drugs that I see in Zimbabwe now and that are giving concerns to people in Zimbabwe are not manufactured, they are not produced in Zimbabwe. They are actually being produced mainly in the Asian countries. And when they are being manufactured outside Zimbabwe, we have got concerns and have got problems in as far as why we have got such things. And before I proceed, I think I need to give this time to Dr. Maifa to speak a mind in as far as the topic is concerned. Go ahead, Dr. Maifa.
Thank you very much, Mkoma Denford. And like you have said, the drug abuse problem is on the increase. Let me say, I lived in Zimbabwe, grew up under apartheid, under Smith rule. I saw the Mugabe era. I now see what we call the Second Republic. There's never been such amounts of drug abuse before, like in the Second Republic. In Smith's time, we never heard of this. In Mugabe's time, there was, but very under control. Now, schools and every place where the youths are, including the church, drugs are all over the place. So what has gone wrong? What has gone wrong? So that's what I can say at the moment. And some of us are speaking from a point of deep pain. If you have a loved one, a family member who is affected, it's painful. I personally have family members who are affected. And for rehab to take place, it's so expensive. For you to get admitted into a rehab, you need $1,200, $1,200. Where do you get it from in Zimbabwe? So let's look at this issue seriously, because we might claim, like Mkoma Denford said, oh, people are being arrested. If you go and arrest Matemba and you leave the real bream, the real fish, the real people behind that drug business, then we are doing almost nothing. And thank you very much, Mkoma Denford. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Now I think we've got our two speakers. But before I give them a chance to speak, I just wanted to quickly say the alarming rate of drug abuse in our country. I think it's so alarming to an extent that I don't think we need to really say who is speaking what here, because it's a concern. And when the consequences of drug consumption are actually getting into our communities, they don't discriminate who is what and where are they coming from. It actually affects everybody from within the communities. So I think I wanted to say the alarming rate of abuse of drugs has actually gone to the levels where we have got children as young as 9 years are being seen abusing these drugs at schools, not in universities, not in secondary schools, but in primary schools. We have got young children who are abusing them, and some are actually the agents of a sale for the drugs. And with that, I think it's something that people have got to take seriously, to an extent that we need to name and shame people who are peddling with the drugs, and people who are actually encouraging others to make money out of these drugs. So it's important that we need to speak about that. And some of the consequences that come as a result of taking drugs, it's much to do with the a person. We've got examples, a number of drugs, but let me not preempt it, because I think there are some people who would want to speak about that. I'll speak as I go. We've got Pelagia here, we've got Padari, we've got Awakening. I'll give an opportunity to Pela. She can bring about your submission.
Thank you, Danford. Nyaya yemadrugs inyaya inorwadza, especially inini kuyouth kamoya wangu unonzwa kurwadza zvekuti, but I think patasvika hapachatomboda kuti ndiriwe pati iyi ndiriwe pati iyi. Zvautongoda kuti tese tibatane tiite fight against this, because zvinhu zvikutongoafecta mwana wese, vana vazhinji, whether ari wemunhu wetriple C, weLead, weZanu, zvinhu zvikutongoafecta munhu wese, and this is very sad. Ini ndotofunga kuti kungoti dai zvangu ndandiine building chaiyo, iyi nzvimbo yekuti ndaidonata, kungoti torai zvenyu mahara panapa, muconverte muiwake maximum prison yakangomirira nemadrugs, ndandichatongopa hangu government for free, because zvinhu zvika izvi zviri kurwadza. I think munhu wese ngatisatomboti uyu mudiki kana kuti chii. Dai vanhu ngazvitore serious, angobatwa nemadrugs wese, whether kari ka small fish, because vese ivavo vanofanirwa kuita sei, kubviswa. Abatwa nemadrugs ese ngaasatombopihwa kana bheo, ngavabva wangoendeswa, handiti ngavanovharirwa. Ini handizozwa hangu capacity yemajeri ekuZimbabwe, but dai zvaibvira vese anenge atongobatwa, abatwa ngaataure kwaari kuyawana, but vese vachona chirakataura ngavasamusiya, because vanhu ivo vakadzoka. Pane vanhu vanenge vari making pin, tichakwanisa kusvika kumaking pin, because tikabata avakava hatichakwani, avakava vachapedzisira kusvika vasisina vanhu kuita sei, vekunopa kuti vanovatengesera mumastreets. Saka anenge abatwa, munhu wese atongobatwa chete, ngatione kuti vatovharirwa vanhu ivavo, and wavharirwa kudaro ngavatopiwe kana dai zvaibvira kana death sentence, zvaibvira ngazvizvazvo, because naivoka vauraya, vangana vanhu vanofa vari pamadrugs. Wotongonzi kana kuti ningirikini minimum sentence 30 years. This is going to stay kunoita sei atengesa madrugs. Saka tagona kubatana tese, vanhu vadura vanhu vari kubata madrugs, kana angobatwa chete, handisi kuti kuzongodurwa pana vanozongokwanisa kungonyika ngoti ninga anoita madrugs asinoita madrugs, abatwa wese paine evidence. awo mazita ari kubuda handizozoti pakabudiswa mazita ndiyaonawo pasocial media panapa pane here zvati zvaitwa kuti vanhu vevo vaite sei vasunge because ndo vamwe vari supposed vari kupi variko and varipo zvechwa because tinoziva kuti kune marana vanopinza maconsignment handizoziva hangu chokwadi but varipo it's obvious they are being protected. They are being protected, but parishioners zvikaitwa hapasisina kuti hanzi we need to protect anyone. Munhu wese atongobatwa chete ngaabatwa achienda kujeri kwacho nakwanenge achiswa ikoko ngaaende munhu wese kuprotectwa kuprotectwa which is wrong, especially iyo ukabatwa kana kuti vanhu vari mugovernment iyo ndo zvaibvira ndo vanofanira kuno kutongochekwa nekutongochekwa wachibva wafa because you said you're going to save the people, you're going to save the people nekudestroy youth nekuita self-enrich. Unotoshaura kuti vanhu vachonaka mari yachona inokunakidza chikonai inokunakidzei mari yakadaro yokuti you earn your living nekufa kunoita vanhu pamadrugs, vanhu vanokomita suicide, mafamilies anoparadzanisa. Pano vamwana kuti wakutorwa cherana amai ocherana baba chinokunakidza pamari yachona chipa pakadaro ipapo. Saka yes varipo vanhu vatiri kunzwa kuti they are very protected. Kwedu kunonetsa kana kuti titi unomasha unoswera warowa nzeve dzikafara. Dai zvaibvira taitoenda kana kunomasha pamba pawo because masita wabuda kutonotonzana nemapurisa kuti handei apa pari kunzi handiti vonya toita ma-investigations.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pela. And if you are still around with us, you can remain on the podium because I know you have got a number of things to speak. And it's important that as we are going ahead with our topic, let's make sure that we speak our minds but responsibly. So our next speaker that we are going to be having, Dr. Maifa, I'm going to come to hear your thoughts. Is awakening. After which you will give Padare the chance to speak. What I'm going to be doing is, because people have got a lot of content they want to speak, when you realize that I've unmuted my mic, it means that you are left with the next minute, so you will have to prepare to learn. Go ahead, Awakening.
Oh, thank you so much. And I don't go to one say it is my tracks, as is right. And those who say tangas will not go on. Naturally one
Zama awakening, sorry.
Okay. So yeah, nature one curious mindset on. Saka munhu pamunomuti musaro wemadrugs anenge achitomada. Mafactors akawanda anocontribute madrugs ave mustreet. Mafactors anocontribute achani to the failed economy chaiyo ikaparara kavanhu, they find ways ekuti vakwanise mari. That capitalism in a brutal way. Saka ndo mafactors then kunawana dongofita madrugs musociety ameno vanhu vachizviitira, but by the end of the day nyaya inyaya mari, nyaya evolves around money. Saka isusu sevanhu kana chida kuva moral isusu tinoidentifya vanhu vari kuita zvisi right, matransgression akadaro musociety tovapersecute, but otherwise vanhu musaro wemadrugs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was short, sweet, and precise. And I think a number of people are going to really emulate the way that we have submitted. Dr. Maifa, you've got any thoughts as far as the last two submissions were given?
Thank you, my sister Pela, and thank you, Mkoma Awakening. Yes. I agree with Pela to say people must get into trouble, whether it's the Matemba or the Brim. So whether you are a runner, whether you are the kingpin, get into trouble. And from what Pela was saying, as I also go through social media, like Twitter Spaces, I've seen female names being mentioned, not like young women. Kutonze, Amai Jolasi, Amai Nengi, meaning these are women with children. They are mothers. So I'm like, what is happening to us even as mothers, destroying our own children? So this is a serious problem. But as we deliberate, I wish we could find solutions towards this problem. What can the government do to stop this? What can the church do? What can the society in general do? What can families do to stop? Let's bring solutions, possible solutions to stop this problem. Thank you, Mkoma Denford.
Thank you very much, my doctor. I'll give this opportunity to Padare. Go ahead.
Hello. All right. Can you hear me, Danford?
Yes, I can hear you, but I wasn't hearing you initially. Go ahead.
It's okay. I hope you're not going to cut me and respect me, like I respect you when you come to my space.
Okay. Thank you. Let me just quickly respond. I respect everybody here within this platform, but I think you also came as we were bringing about or speaking about the ground rules here. Can you confirm
It's
okay. Thank you.
I was just
Thank you
letting
very much.
you know that you're not going to cut me like you did. See, this is an interesting time, right? Because why do I say this is an interesting time? Drug issues have always been there in Zimbabwe. They are here, they are across the world, and so forth. For those that have worked with young persons who are involved with this, adults and so forth, you can understand that this is has always been there. People take drugs for many different reasons. Take drugs for many different reasons. It doesn't matter whether one is rich or poor. That's the most important point that people really have to understand when it comes to drug and drug misuse. Because in the United Kingdom, we refer to treat as drug and drug misuse. So why am I saying this? We say it so that you said your space is about learning. So people will come in and bring expert knowledge around drug and substance misuse in relation to where we are. But from a political narrative, it'd be an interesting time to understand how politicians and those that are working within the political circles have been influencing within the society in addressing this issue, not just highlighting the problems, but where perhaps maybe CCC, MDC, APA, leads and all these guys within their youth groups. And it will be interesting to hear what initiatives they've been doing on the ground. And then we come to the government policy. It is an undeniable fact that the president, Idi Mnangagwa, highlighted the issues of drugs in Zimbabwe. So it means the government and the president himself is aware of the situation at hand and the problem at hand, and seeking to redress it. There are many people who are doing initiatives in Zimbabwe from a local level to government level. They are. It's happening. Should it be happening even more? Yes, that is what we should be saying. We should be fighting for more funding, more resources into these institutions that are fighting drugs. That's what we talk about when we talk about drugs. I work with young persons who uses drugs every day. Every day of my life, I wake up to work with these young persons, and what I see in there, whether they're coming from a poor family or a troubled family, or whether they're going through their traumas and so forth, but whether also they're just coming from a rich family where resources are abundant, and they're taking it for fun. People take drugs for fun. People take drugs to numb certain things. People take drugs for recreational or uses, and so forth, to hide their traumas. But what we should be addressing, which is constant, and I hear you when you say, how are the borders coming through? So this is where the government should supposed to be asking ourselves, how is the chain, and how do you break the chain of the drug? Majority of people that I've seen, who constantly go on and actually actively do the right things with drug policy, it's not the drug dealer that you go for, because it's a system, it's an underground world, it's a money scheming position. You can't deal with it, right? Because